Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. In this video, what we're going to do is take a look through the brand new maps that will be available in the Overwatch beta. Now, I've had the chance to play through these maps a hell of a lot, so I think I'm fairly familiar with them, so I can show you guys all of the details. However, I want to start off with this. This is Watchpoint Gibraltar, and it's the attacker's spawn. Look at this. This is the new style. It's all been updated. It's beautiful. I've no idea what this is for, but if we kind of put two and two together, we should come out with the fact that this was shown in some stuff. I think it was 2019 BlizzCon, where you kind of had like the Overwatch team standing around this table deciding where to go and deal with threats. So this might be something to do with PvE. I just thought this is super cool. But yeah, nice little change. Also, while we're on Watchpoint Gibraltar, oh, and by the way, there's no changes to Winston's office apart from they fixed the window. In fact, I don't think there's any changes at the moment. Oh, well, no, this is new, isn't it? These pictures new? No, they're not, are they? No, that's from Overwatch 2. Yeah, so there are little details and things like that on the maps, which is really cool. Anyway, let's get out of here because I want to show you guys just some little things on this map. There are also other changes to some of the other maps, but I'm not really going to focus on that in this video because they're kind of minor. They're things like this, so an extra bit of cover. Now, this is because there's one less tank in the game, and there are basically no barriers anymore. Reinhardt's got a barrier, and Sigma's got a barrier, but beyond that, there's no, like, barrier defense, I guess. So I suppose what Blizzard are doing is going around and changing some of the older maps to just add little bits of extra cover. So yeah, you've got that there, and I'll just quickly show you guys this over here, which is another bit of cover sort of there, which wasn't there before. Yeah, so it's not very exciting stuff, but yeah, there are a number of maps which have little bits added to them, like Eichenwald has got kind of like little new ledges and stuff you can stand on. Anyway, let me go and show you guys the new maps because that's what you've come here for. So this is Circuit Royale. It's a new escort map, and it's based on Monaco. It's got the F1 kind of racetrack inspiration of it, and I really like this map. Like, it is visually, it's very impressive. This map it feels like an Overwatch 2 map, right? It doesn't feel like we're looking at an older map. It doesn't feel like, you know, we're on Dorado or something. It's like, no, this actually looks a hell of a lot more impressive, I think, than especially the Overwatch 1 maps. But yeah, this is basically Monaco. We've got a nice sort of little area outside the map there, showing off the harbour with the super yachts and all of the mega rich people. And what I kind of like is if you look in the distance, there's like an aerial yacht. In fact, there's one right in front of us there. Instead of a blimp, it's a yacht in the sky. I kind of like that detail. It's pretty cool. But yeah, but let's just take you guys straight forward to the attacker's spawn, and I'll just sort of fly around and show you guys what it's like. The flow of the map. But look at this for a spawn room. Like, what the hell is this? Now, they've always kind of gone mental on spawn rooms, but this is like on another level. It's like, what in the hell? It kind of reminds me of like Oasis's spawn room, but absolutely on steroids. I mean, what the hell? I mean, it's a casino, right? Because it's Casino Royale. It's Monaco. But look at this. It's so good. The detail is just mental. Like, it's so good. I guess the only criticism I can give Blizzard is, why didn't you give us these, you know, years ago? Please, Blizzard. Anyway, at least we're getting content now. Is that a Hearthstone card? I think that might be Hearthstone, right? Or the logo of Hearthstone or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, really cool. Really cool spawn. Like, honestly, super cool. It's crazy that so much detail's put into a spawn room. Anyway, let's move forward and let's kind of show you guys the way the map works. So, you've come out of the attacker spawn. Your payload is here. It's a nice little F1 car that you're going to push forward. Of course, in the Overwatch world, there's no wheels on cars. They all hover because it's the future. So yeah, I'll kind of show you guys the little flank routes as well. So as you come through here, you've got a large health pack. Got some fancy art on the walls there. You can kind of move through this way, which is wonderful. And you can kind of get to the high ground here. Now, there will probably be defenders directly in front of us where the wine advertisement is, and also over to this area. So you're very exposed here, so you're going to have to be aware of that. They've got cover, you kind of don't, so you might get killed really quick there. Also, you can go through this way, and there's a small health pack, and you can kind of access the lower ground here. And I think if we go around here as well out of the spawn, we can get onto the high ground round here. So this is kind of like your attacker's sort of, I don't know, like defensive high ground position if the enemy for some reason are holding really close. And then you can push forward into this area. This is generally where we've seen a lot of defensive setups in the alpha, where basically, you know, a lot of defenders will be setting up sort of in this position here, maybe using this as a little bit of cover before it gets destroyed, generally using this sort of room here to sort of peek out, take a couple of shots, because obviously you can drop down to the low ground here, which makes it kind of powerful as a position to set up in. So yeah, it's a really cool position this is, but generally we see a lot of defense sort of set up on this high ground. And then what would happen is the payload gets pushed forward through here, and it's all beautiful. And the payload comes around this way. You can see there's kind of a nice shop there, which is wonderful. Fancy boutique, because this is Monaco. Everyone is absolutely mega rich. And then this would be your first checkpoint. Now, when you unlock this checkpoint, your spawn room will change to over here. This is the spawn room. I actually don't think I can go in there. Oh. So that is a spawn room, trust me, but I can't go in there, so fair enough. But yeah, your spawn rooms will change to there, and you can then start attacking from this position. So there's a couple of routes here. This is kind of like the main... It's the middle of the map, this is, and there's this high ground, there's flanks, there's loads of stuff. This is very much following the new sort of design ethos of Overwatch 2 maps, in which there's a lot of flanks, there's a lot of open space, and they are basically built for one tank, not two. And they're also built for mobility as well, which a lot of Overwatch 2 is based on mobility. So let's start off with this. So you can move around to the side. You can come around here. Again, this is a pretty lengthy little sort of flank, and you can get the mega health pack there, and it brings you out to the point here. So it doesn't take you like on a massive flank, but if the enemy are holding close here, or for some reason you want to get into that position, or you just want to grab the health pack, also when you're up here you can fire across. Directly in front of us is where defenders might be, because they can access this high ground here, and they might be firing at us from there. So you tend to see defenders using this bit of static cover there to get complete oversight on what's going on down there. It's just incredibly powerful for heroes like Soldier 76, because you're just like spraying into the enemy. Widow's obviously really good here. Sojourn can be quite good as well. But yeah, the other way we can go is, well, obviously we could go for the shop, but there's not much to show here. You can kind of use the shop just to sort of peek onto the high ground there and try and fire towards the enemies, because the enemies might be set up here. But again, this is heavily in favor of the defenders. Like, I wouldn't be peeking somebody if they were on the high ground, because you're going to take a lot of damage. You can also make your way to this position. So firstly, I'll show you this. You can go straight through. Now, this gives you access to the high ground I was talking about that defenders might use, and you can move forward to here, and you can get up to this high ground. See what I mean about this map design? It's like the duality of the access to the points. It's not just this is a defender's position that only they can get to. It's like, oh, no. Actually, attackers have got a nice guarded position to get to it through this way. And I think that's actually kind of cool. Gives you a lot of options. Of course, it makes flanking heroes very, very strong. Now, the other way you could go is up these steps. Now, this will take you straight towards the second point, which we can see there. And yeah, the enemy's probably here. They're set up ready to defend. They're probably going to be using this high ground point, and they're probably going to be maybe over there as well. So if you're running up here as a flanker, you got to get ready to be engaged in some combat, because the enemy's definitely going to be here. Now, the other place you can go, or directions, you can go this way, which basically takes you straight up in the middle of the street, which, yeah, you're going to be exposed if you do this. But it's actually kind of cool, because you can, when you're here, you can kind of like peek out sort of thing and fire at the enemy as they're sort of like maybe getting ready to defend this position. Again, it's just really cool. Like, these maps are really, really cool. And what's really cool, even more so, I keep saying that a lot, it's almost like I'm a May main. I'm not a May main. But it's really cool that I've had a lot of time to actually play through these maps. So you get... I'm starting to become familiar with these maps, instead of just like, well, this is a new map, I've got no idea how this plays. It's like, no, actually, I've played loads of hours on these maps now, so we are starting to see metas develop in the way the maps get used and the way defensive positions get used, set up. Anyway, we're moving forward here with the payload. Oh, by the way, that would be the attacker's spawn room. In fact, we'll just quickly go in here. This is it's like an F1 garage. We've got Turbotron from Brazil, and that's his wonderful car. As you can see, it's literally just AI, the car. It's just an Omnic. There's no one in them, which is really cool. And you've got various things like, their racing statistics, Formula Lux. I think that's what they're calling it. Yeah, it's cool. It's nice. It's very... It looks like modern Overwatch, doesn't it, this place? It doesn't look like an old Overwatch map. That's what I like about it. Anyway, let's move forward. So if you cap the point, over you go with your F1 car, ends up on this point, and then it opens up the final phase of the map. Now, this is an area which is... There's a hell of a lot of flanking, but there's an incredibly long flank on this map, which I'll show you guys in a second. So yeah, main area. You've got access to the high ground up there, and sort of access to this, which is also high ground, but also slightly lower ground, because this is where the payload will move. So the payload will come through here on this low ground here like that, and it gets to this position. And there are so many options here for defenders to mess up what is going on with the attack. I mean, you can have people on this high ground, you can have people on this high ground. Of course, the attackers can access this high ground from this position as well. So it's not like you're completely safe if you're just standing up here like, oh yeah, I'm going to spray at them. It's like, no, they can get to you, and they can get to you quite easy. They can also get to you from over there as well, which makes it very strong. But let's just stay on the low ground for a second. So if we make our way through on the low ground here, we're sort of in the lobby. You've got nice bits of detail and all that kind of stuff. You come to this area here. Now, this has obviously got a small health pack, and it gives you access to the higher ground behind you, which again is also accessed by this. You see how like complex these maps are? There's loads of different ways you can go, and it makes them very enjoyable to play, at least in the alpha so far. Anyway, let's imagine we're back on this flank again. We can move around this way, and this is a very long flank because this takes us out to a pool area, which is like, it's nothing really to do with that area of the map. It's like, what the hell? It's crazy. But then, oh wait, hang on a minute, more high ground, very, very strong high ground, which can be accessed by the attackers in the same path that we just took. But look at this. It's like, you've got such an overview of what's going on here. But wait, it gets even better. You can keep going. You can just keep going. You can get a drink if you like. Is that Dom Robotico? It is, yeah. From Havana. Anyway, you can keep going, because then you come to this area. Again, the detail is mental, but you can come to this area, and it is straight up the final point. So obviously you need to push the payload there. This is the final spawn doors for the defenders. They can also spawn up, exit the spawn through the high ground up here as well. I think in the lift as well, there's another door, yeah, which is cool. But yeah, you can see that flank I just took you guys on. I mean, what the hell? You've got like, you can just drill everybody on the point from above. It's so good. But remember, they can come out of their spawn room and take you out. If I go into this spawn room, it's actually kind of nice. It's like a VIP area of a club. Really fancy area. Look at this. So fancy. Sort of got like this water effect on the floor. Or I guess that's not water on the floor, is it? That's maybe the lighting of the waterfall. But look how cool this looks. Like, they're so good. These maps are so cool. Anyway, let's take you guys back through here, and then we will go back down to the payload. So let's imagine we've got the payload here, and we're pushing it through. We kind of did see it. I showed you guys, didn't I, that lower ground. The high ground. So you can come through the high ground here, and obviously get back down to that low, to that small health pack. Again, I kind of showed you guys that. See what I mean? It's like you kind of get lost in the maps. It's so cool. Oh, and over here. So this is just like a little side route round to the point. It's not really, there's not really anything to kind of show you guys there. Like, it does give you access to fire at the high ground there, instead of taking a ton of spam damage from probably like from these positions. Because if you're set up here and you're like if I can go through here, if you're like firing down in that position, if someone comes through that door at the bottom, they are kind of protected from you maybe, and maybe they want to flank you onto the, in fact, well, that's why it's there, isn't it? So they can access the high ground here very easy. So yeah, but again, there's options, right? When I look at this part of the map, and I look at like Eichenwald, not Eichenwald. Eichenwald kind of got changed, didn't it? But originally it just had the single choke on the first point attack. But think of like Paris, the way Paris first point was designed. It's like, is this even the same? Like, what the hell? I know that's a 2CP map, but they've clearly taken that to heart, and they have absolutely just gone crazy with loads and loads and loads and loads of different respawn, different like flank routes, different ways of accessing the same high ground. Respawn was on my brain because I was like respawning here, looking at a respawn room. But yeah, here's a little conference room. I don't know what that says, but it says one woman's journey to reimagine Formula One in post-crisis Europe. I do know what that says because it's English. What? I'm an idiot. Revolutions per minute as well. That's also English. I'm like, it's French. I can't possibly read it because I've seen this out the corner of my eye. But yeah, cool stuff. All right. So yeah, we would make our way through into the Salon Grace. Good Lord. You've got this little flanky area here with this little La Pink Rose. Excellent. Little health pack in there as well. And this kind of brings you around to this side, which you can again like get to the high ground from this, which is again, it's pretty strong. Like if you can like I've been up here quite a lot of playing Soldier, also with Bastion. Yeah, Bastion's really good. You get up here and you can just destroy people, especially on defense. It's like this point is so easy to hold compared to some of the other points on the other maps if you're the defense, just because you can spread out. But it also means you've got to be careful that there might be enemy flankers that can access you from about 1 billion different positions. But yeah, there you go. That's Casino Royale. A really nice map that is. It's probably my favourite map, I think, out of all of them. Casino Royale. It's a James Bond film, isn't it? Anyway, let's move on to the next map. Okay, so yeah, we've just come from Circuit Royale, not Casino Royale. James Bond. This is Midtown. This is the New York map. This, again, is a very detailed map. So what we're going to do is go to the start of the map and run you guys through the way the map kind of plays. So first things first, we have got the spawn room over here in Mario's place. This is the attacker's spawn. Everyone spawns in here on your team, obviously, and you're going to make your way to the point to capture it. So you can get yourself a nice pizza, if you like, which is beautiful. This is, of course, a hybrid map as well. You've got this exit, which I'll show you guys about in a second, because this exit is actually kind of strong. Anyway, yes, yeah, so you got your spawn room. So let me just show you about that exit. In fact, let's just go through that exit now, because this will give you an idea of what I mean about all these flanks on these maps. So there's Mario's place. Okay, you can see in front of us there's access to high ground, but I'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, so you're on a mission. Oh, there's a large health pack. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's Mario's place. What the hell? I'm under the bridge. Yeah, this is really strong. Most notably, it's really strong for defenders because they don't expect you to be there. Because you can just be running around here. Like, imagine if you're Sojourn, Tracer, Genji, Soldier, anyone with movement, and you're just like here. Like, you can spray them and just destroy them as they're running back from spawn. Maybe you can catch like staggered spawns. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. But what you've got to be aware of, and not any, well, I haven't really seen people using this in the alpha. I've been using it, is this spawn door here. People don't realize there's a spawn door. They're like, oh yeah. Oh God, they don't realize. So you could actually die, come out of the spawn here and check that angle in case anyone was there, maybe push them away. Anyway, let's carry on as if we're the attackers. So yeah, we can walk through the wonderful sort of remake of this. Is kind of looks like old school New York, isn't it? Battle of the Bridges we've got there. When faces clank, charge of the Crusaders, Reinharder. Oh dearie me. I'll show you guys below first, so you can go around here again. Remember what we said about these crazy flanks? It's like, what the hell? It's like just an area of the map. So this gives you a very exposed view of where the defenders will be. So the defenders most likely may start off here just to get a bit of spam damage in because they can use this bench as a bit of cover. They know you're going to come probably from that position so they can fire down at you, get a bit of spam damage in, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, they can retreat through the train. However, you cannot stand on top of this train. You will get booped off it. You know, like kind of when you're on a slidey roof. Yeah, so you can't stand on top of this train and shoot them. That's not a thing, which is kind of a bit disappointing because obviously everybody wants to do that. Anyway, if we go back through here, instead of going through the low ground route, we can go through this slightly higher ground route, which gives us access to two windows. So this window gives us a nice little view down towards underneath the bridge and a little bit of the higher ground we can see there. And also we've got this side window as well, which gives us a great view to where the defenders probably will be standing. Now, there's also a little Easter egg. If I can show you guys. See that? There's a little pigeon inside the car. I don't think it's an Easter egg. I think it's just a problem. But remember, this is alpha. The things which are kind of messy. I don't know. At least I don't think that's an Easter egg. Even if it is, what does it even mean? It's like a pigeon eating a... What even is that? Is that like a chocolate eclair? I don't know. Anyway, it's probably a hot dog, right? Anyway, so if you're attacking, you can go through this direction. And what you're basically trying to do is get in front of the fire station and capture this area, and it will unlock the payload, and it will come out. And of course, the payload is a little like fire truck, which is wonderful. Yeah, so we can make our way forward, and we can sort of get this. There's a mega health pack there, which is absolutely wonderful. But this is a really powerful flank because what it does is it gives you like sort of you can see the side of the point here, and it's really strong. This is because think about if you're on the attack here and you've gone on a huge flank. So let me just bring you guys all the way back around here. This is what I mean, right, with Overwatch 2 and all these flanks. They're just so mental. So imagine if you started, like, well, you come out of the spawn door this way, right? So you're playing, I don't know, let's just say Tracer. So you're running around here as Tracer. You're like, yeah, whatever. You're not even really paying attention to what your team are doing. You're running around here. You're hoping the enemy isn't in here or doing whatever. If they don't see you, it's like, okay, great. Then you can blink across here. Now, they probably will see that, but they now know you're in the back line. This causes them all kinds of problems because they need to deal with you because you're here. This means you can go in here if you like. You can pop out there. You can do damage. You can go up here, right? You can maybe someone's trying to come and get you. You can see them out the side of the window there. You can see someone there. You can blink across over to there. You could be down here. I hope I'm not going too fast here, guys, because it's mental. You could run around the back of here. You could be like, well, I'm going to go up to the high ground up here. Like, what in the hell am I doing? What the Christ is all of this? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And, of course, this overviews the point. There's so many flanks you can go on in this new sort of Overwatch world, on these new maps. It is ridiculous. It makes the older maps feel like you don't really have many places to go. Like, you're just walking through a choke and it's like, oh, great, this is all I can really do. This is like, nah, there's so many places you can be. Of course, this is a major heart attack for an Ana player or, you know, a Zen. A Zen is like absolutely going to have a coronary event because, like, he just doesn't know where people are coming from. It's like, oh, he's here. He's flinging orbs down there. Oh, God, there's a Tracer, but oh, my God, it's from above. Or there's a Genji. It's like, oh, my God. It is mental, like actually mental. So, yeah, you capture this payload. Well, you capture the point, you get the payload. This door will unlock. Let's go and have a look inside. Oh, well, I'll show you their spawn. It's through there. But this door will unlock, and you can go through here. Now, that disappears. It's sort of like Gibraltar. Well, no, it's not like Gibraltar, because Gibraltar opens and closes, doesn't it? I think that... Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, my God, don't quote me on that. Does that open and close? Yes, it does open and close. Yeah, it does. It does open and close. I'm having a brain fart. So you go through here anyway with the payload. And this is when it starts to get a bit funky again. Because again, there's loads of places you can go. So defenders are probably going to be set up above the Midtown tunnel sign on that high ground. But as the attackers, you can jump up here, up here, up here if you want. And you can actually like sort of... Well, it depends what hero you're playing. But you can jump over to there. But you've got a nice bit of high ground here, which gives you like an overview of what's going on down below, especially if the fight gets choked up there, which it does tend to happen. Because think about it, if defenders are on here, they're waiting for the payload to move around that corner, and that's where it stalls. But actually, you've got high ground you can use yourself to try and put damage onto them. And of course, depending on the hero you're playing, you can jump over this, right? And then you can get to here, and then you can get on the high ground yourself. However, there are other places you can go and other ways you can access that high ground. So if I show you underneath here, you can run down underneath the Midtown tunnel, and you can run through here, and there's obviously a small health pack there, and you can walk up here, and this gives you access to the high ground. Again, another way of getting there, and also, what could this be? But another way of getting there, and you can, you know, harass them on the high ground. There is also this way you can go. You can run through here, and again, that's the spawn room. I'll show you guys that in a second. You've got the nice, whatever that says, little... I was going to say a dive bar. This ain't a dive bar, is it? It's a nice little nice bar. Got the small health pack over there. And again, you can get to the high ground from this position, so really, really cool. But yeah, let's just jump into their spawn room. I don't think this one's too detailed. Yeah, it's just sort of like the lobby of a hotel. So this one's okay. Yeah, well, Memorial Theatre. Excellent stuff. Okay, so let's say we're down here. What happens if we go right? Because of course we can. Because of course there's another flank. So you've got this sort of double, well, you've got cover in the middle, double stairs set up. You've got a large health pack there, and then you can move through here. Now, this gives you a view of the point here. This is where you're trying to push the payload to. And you can, again, run up here and access this high ground. Loads and loads of flanks. But if you're attacking this point and you manage to push the payload underneath and take control of this high ground, you're in such a strong position because you can just see everywhere. Like, up here is such a powerful position. You have to be aware that, yeah, they can flank you. And yeah, they can maybe come from this direction, from down here. But like, again, another flank. But it's just so open. This is what Overwatch 2 is like. It's just open. It's really like, it's almost like they replace the extra tank that we used to play with cover, with elements out in, it's almost like the map is replacing the tank. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at in a weird kind of way. So, yeah, you would push your payload to here, and it would knock that down. So this would go into the ground. Then you move into Grand Central Station, which looks absolutely amazing. This is a spawn room in here, which will open up when you obviously capture the payload, or capture the point, so you can spawn out of this room, which is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, so you come out of here, and you can go through here, and you can go up to this nice little sort of kiosk selling various paraphernalia from New York, and it doesn't really like the main purpose of this is to stop you taking shed loads of spam damage if you come through this door and you just sort of run through the low ground here, because the enemy might be in there firing at us, whereas if we're coming through this way, at least we've got this sort of protection. Yeah, we can still see up towards the high ground over there, which, by the way, you can get up here. Like, Widow can stand up there, so be aware of that. Sojourn can get up there. Bastion can get up there. That's right, I said Bastion. It's a brave new world that we're living in. And yeah, this takes you into Grand Central Station. But before we get into there, let's just show you this. So the payload will move through here. And as it moves into this area, you will notice there is a god-awful amount of high ground everywhere. So you've got a little bit here. You've got a bridge up here that the defenders can access. You've got a bit there. You've got a bit there. You've got this bit at the back. You've got bits where they could be flanking around here, which you can use to get onto the high ground at the back. You got this nice little health pack in here. This then takes you up to the higher ground of the bridge. It is absolutely mental. Look at this for a point. Just look at this being in here. What the hell? It's so... And this is exactly how the game plays. It is so, like... It's so open. It's not... This ain't the Overwatch that we're used to playing. And I think that's probably a good thing. I mean, I've not really had a bad time in the alpha, so I think that kind of sums it up. It's not like, oh my god, this game is unplayable. It's like, no, it's Overwatch, but it's a bit different. Feels faster, feels more open, and I feel like I'm not shooting at barriers, so it's kind of a benefit in that regard. Okay, so we move through here, and this is a beautiful... Well, it's not beautiful, that's maybe an over-exaggeration. It's a room. There's a small health pack there. You can go through here if you like. This is the spawn room as well. So obviously you can't go in there. But wonderful stuff. And yeah, so you'd come out to this area and you've got the high ground up here, which you can access. Now, this has kind of got a little funky mechanic to access this. It's this lift. Well, it's not funky. It's on Hollywood, isn't it? It's basically the same thing. You can stand on this and it will rapidly move you up to the high ground here. And then you can move out and then you've got a nice little bit of a position to just pepper the enemy. It's a nice position. It's good. High ground is always powerful, and even in Overwatch 2, especially on Overwatch 2 maps, it's even more powerful. See, this is the thing we've got going on with the game now. Because we've got all the old maps, they kind of don't really play like the newer maps. The newer maps are a lot more open. There's a lot more going on. The older maps are a lot more one-dimensional. So it's a bit weird bouncing between like, oh my god, I've just played Midtown, and then we're on King's Row. Even though King's Row is still a good map, it's like, well, there isn't really any... It's a bit weird. It feels a bit strange. It doesn't feel as good, and I think that's key. And I think that's good as well. Anyway, yeah, so we've got high ground that you can access through there. You've got this little sort of underground access to the lift as well. Which, in fact, no, this is... Is that the different... Hang on a minute. Where's that lift? What's going on here? Have I become lost? Oh, yeah, I think I flew through here, didn't I, to go there? There's a lift, yeah. So it's the same lift. I'm like, there's lifts. How many lifts are there? Or, sorry, elevators. I am British. I cannot help it. And, yeah, this would be the attacker spawn. Or the defender spawn. Let's go in and take a look. So you've got Coffee Romo. Or Aromo makes a return. Yeah, and it's basically like a restaurant in Grand Central, which is cool. But yeah, you'd come out of here as the defenders, and you've got this nice bit of cover in front of you with all the various destinations. And this obviously stops you taking massive spam damage as you run out of spawn. But there are a lot of different ways you can go. So you can decide to run yourself through... I wonder if they've kept Green Hills of Stranglethorn. They have. Now, this is an Easter egg for Jeff Kaplan. He came up with this quest in... World of Warcraft, and it was one of the most hated quests at the time because you had to go around and literally collect loads of pages from random drops on random mobs in Stranglethorn Vale. And yeah, so this is a reference to Jeff. There was actually a little drinks cup, if you guys remember, but given all of the issues Blizzard have had, I mean, calling them issues is just not enough. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but we know the problems that Blizzard have had with harassment and all of that. There was actually a little cup here which said Jeff on it, which was a meme image from a few years back, but they've removed that because they've removed all mention of any real-world people from the game, just in case things happen in the future that they can't control. So yeah, like this as well, actually. This is... I'll show you this on the Toronto map, on New Street, but... is it New Street? Whatever the Toronto map's called. But this is... New Street's in Birmingham. That's why I'm getting confused, because that's where I live. But this... used to be Tim Hortons, I think, which was a callback to one of the developers at Blizzard, but now it's completely changed. It's called Tom something, which I like because my name's Tom, and so I'm in the game. You've got these various nice little Matrix tattoos where body art comes alive. Oh, I'll have some of that. Alchemy. Yeah, anyway, so you can come out of the spawn and you can run through the train which is great. And it's got 2 doors. So you've got this door here where you can do a bit of work, and you got this door here where you can do a bit of work. And what tends to happen here is, as the payload gets pushed into this area, there's 2 places which are really strong for defenders, for attackers. So this back point here is really, really good. Because if you're here, you can see anyone coming out of the trains. You can fire into the spawn, and you've got a large health pack. It's a bit good. It's like I'm just going to stand there and read my Omnic today, which is really good. Also, you can push them back, and as soon as you get into this position here, it's kind of game over, like, because if they can't get rid of DPS or even tanks, especially like Orisa is mega powerful from this position, they're just going to get pushed back and end up losing the map. But yeah, that is Midtown, and I do like this map. Again, the new maps are very open. The new maps are chock-a-block of flank routes, and they're just really genuine. Like, honestly, they're really cool. I mean, like, look at this. It's so cool. Like, the detail, like, this really does feel like an Overwatch 2 map, right? Really feels cool. Okay, let's move on to the Toronto map. Okay, this is the Toronto map, or New Queen Street. That's where I was getting confused, calling it New Street, because that's, like I said, in Birmingham. But New Queen Street, this map is called. Now, what I will say about this map, and you might be able to see it kind of apparent straight away, is when you look at things like this texture. Okay, this is going to be a little bit harsh, but this does feel like an Overwatch map that is 4 years old, or even maybe older, right? At least 3 years old. Remember, we've seen this map in 2019. I played on this map in 2019. It is the same map. There isn't really any difference to it, but it looks like an Overwatch 1 map, right? Now, this might be a harsh criticism of the map, because actually, this is probably the best push map they've got so far in the game. Like, honestly, it's probably better than Colosseo, but it's kind of lacking in its like visual, I don't know, fidelity. But again, it's been overly harsh. Okay, I want to show you this first because it's Tom Beansons. So this wasn't called Tom before, like I said in a previous map video section of the video. But yeah, it's now called Tom Beansons, and like my name's finally in Overwatch, which is awesome. So if you ever catch me on this map, I'll just be camping in there. Right, let's start off with, so these maps, right? One thing has got to be said about these maps is they are very much symmetrical. So all the push maps are exactly like split down the middle. They're exactly the same. It's for balance reasons, and they don't change. And that's there might be little differences to the architecture, especially on Colosseo, but they don't really change, right? And we've got some cool new bits of art, like a new Omnic leg blade thing. So, Union Station, let's start off in. Now, I'm not a native of Toronto. I'm sure there's a lot of things here I probably will miss. But also this, we can help. Lost your step, we can help. Ah, it's lovely look. Little corgi. Yeah, so this is your spawn room. It's the train station. Well, I guess as you're getting off at one of the stations. And you can see the Toronto subway there, which is absolutely wonderful. And then you go up here, and everything is glorious. And you go out the spawn door. Now, that's where the that's the finish line. So if the enemy push the bot there, then you lose. That's it. It's game over. Now, again, following the sort of design ethos of these new maps, there is a ton of flanks, and I mean a ton of flanks. So I'm just going to take you on one here. So we're moving through, and remember, the point of this is to get to the robot, to push the robot. It's, of course, the robot to push the barrier towards the enemy base. But you get to here. Now, you'll notice that's where the robot is. So this is where we all are going to fight over at the start of the map. So the spawn door's open. We go in. There's going to be a fight. Whichever team wins and takes control of the bot will start walking forward. Did he just look at me? The bot will start walking forward. Anyway, he'll start walking forward, and he'll start pushing this. So if we're coming from the spawn I've just gone from, the bot will turn around, and he'll walk over here, and he'll grab this, and he'll start pushing it forward. So you can see why this is a very strong position, because if you get into this position fast, especially if you're Soldier, like I've been playing a lot of Soldier, you're playing Tracer, DPS kind of heroes, that you can just see a lot of stuff going on here. You can fire down there. Of course, the enemy can do that as well, because if I just keep going forward, like I said, these maps are symmetrical, so the enemy has got exactly the same flank route. Like, things are a little bit different. Like, the buildings that you run through are a little bit different. There's little bits of different design on them, but it is exactly the same path. You can see as we move through here. And, by the way, this spawn, it's a curling arena, which I quite like, because Britain is quite good at curling. so it's like the only Winter Olympic sport that we're actually any good at. Everything else we're terrible at, because we don't have no snow. So we got a good excuse. But yeah, it's the Toronto Raccoons curling club. Amazing stuff. I really like that. It's so cool. Okay. So let's just move all the way back around this way. Again, just showing you guys this flank. That takes you all the way around. Oh, not that way. This way takes you around to the side. And good stuff. Okay, so imagine we're here. And in fact, before we even get here, let's show you guys over here. Because there's so much... Like, the thing with these maps is they're a little bit weird to show. Because the fight changes position over and over again. Like, it's not a flow through the map, right? You go back and forward. So you're taking fights in loads of different positions. So often, like, these maps feel a lot more dynamic than maybe other maps because you're just fighting all over the place. So you could come out the spawn doors and go this way. And, of course, you've got access to this area here, which is sort of like the... well, there's no high ground above this, but there is high ground over there, which you can get to with a small health pack. But this is more of like a defensive position. So imagine if the bot has been pushed really far forward, and maybe it's down there. Maybe they've just unlocked that checkpoint. Then, like, this is a really strong defensive position to take up, right? Because you can just fire at them, and you've got a health pack, and you can run away if you need to back to your own team. So, yeah, you can go through the optical cybernetics lab. Does that say optical? Yeah, optical cybernetics. I could do with some optical cybernetics in my eye. I don't like wearing glasses. But yeah, there we go. So there's a small health pack there. You can move down to here. You've got this, which is like a double flank route round to the bridge. And there's also a mega health pack in here. So you've got the mega health there. You can run up to the bridge here, which... Oh, by the way, new Overwatch hero speculation video. 10 minutes long. Let's go. So you could be down here and you can like run all the way down this bridge if you want. Now, you'll notice that it's got breakable glass and then solid cover. So you can break the glass. Obviously, you can fire at people. You can use it for cover. You know, this is a very strong area of the map to take control of. So if we go through here and we end up in this position. Now, remember, this side of the map, it's exactly the same. It just looks slightly different. So look, there's the Warbird's gym, and above that, you've got high ground. And if I go over here, you'll see that you've got the optical cybernetics and there's high ground. It's different, you know, aesthetic, but it's exactly the same layout. That's the way these maps roll. So you'd be pushing your... Is it even a payload? I don't even know what. This is the barrier. You're pushing this. I'm just going to call it the payload. You're pushing the payload. The bot's pushing it around here. It's beautiful. It gets all the way over here, unlocks forward spawns, and then you can start, well, hopefully winning fight after fight after fight, pushing it all the way around here to get into the enemy's final point, which, of course, as soon as it hits that, that's it. It ends. Now, yeah, like, there isn't, again, really too much to show on this side of the map, because once you've looked at one side of a push map, the other side is exactly the same. The only thing we'd be looking at is stuff like, you know, different designs. There's a very nice, actually, bit of, where is this? There's a bit of Sombra graffiti. Where's this Sombra graffiti? There's a bit of graffiti there, but there's a big Sombra one somewhere. Mwah. Let me see if I can find this. I know it's around here somewhere. It might be up here. Is it up here on the side of the building? No. Where is this? Where is this? Is it this? It might be... Yeah, I think it's over here. So I think it's down the gap here, right? Yeah, this. Look at that. What does that say? It's so cool. Like, what is that? T4. Could be a reference to the Overwatch team. I don't know. It's really cool, though. Yeah, so that's New Queen Street. It's a nice map, but it feels like a map that was made a few years ago. But it does play quite well. And because it's a new game mode, I think it will still feel fresh to us anyway. All right, now let's move on to the next map. So welcome to Colosseo. This is, without a doubt in my mind, the best looking map we've got in Overwatch, full stop. This is an incredibly good looking map. It is so good. I still think New Queen Street plays a little bit better for push than this, maybe. But this is really, really... Honestly, look, I mean, what the hell? This is not even in the map. Like, what even is this? It's just a background. It's just a background. It's freaking crazy. It's like, what the hell? Look at all, like, the Roman-inspired architecture as well. You've got, like, the thing over there. The chariot racing thing over here. The chariot racing thing. I'm terrible. You've got a massive aqueduct over there. You've got this futuristic, like, gate travel system. It's so good. I mean, like, this is not even in the map. That's not even in the map. Like, what in the hell is going on there? That is so incredible. And even just stuff like this. Like, look at this. Like, you know, and then, like, look at this. It's like, what the Christ is this? Like, this is obviously the Coliseum. It's like, what the bloody hell is going on here? This is... look at it. Just look at this map. It is so It is so visually pleasing to look at, this map. It is absolutely awesome. Anyway, let's begin as if we're in the Lapis Maximus, which I think is something to do with gladiatorial combat, right? Oh, that's nice. Anyway, this is your spawn room. And it's very fancy because it's like a Roman museum. And you can have a look at a bloke beating another bloke to death with a club. In fact, it looks like he's beating himself to death there. They look like the same geezer. So that must be old school gladiators. You've got whatever that is. You've got whoever she is. And then you've got this, which might be on Ilios, maybe. I don't know. But I do feel like I'm at the museum. It's absolutely beautiful. A lovely black cat there. What we got here? Joyous. Oh, they've got Julius Caesar there. I think that's meant to be. You could. The problem with this map is you just don't play the game. You just, what's this, Spartacus? You just who's this guy? And you're just like, look at the floor. Look at the map. Look at this map. This map is so goddamn good, honestly. It looks... I mean, look at this. You walk out the spawn. What? It is so good. This is honestly mega. This is absolutely crazy. Anyway, let's play. Let's pretend we're playing anyway. I've just noticed somewhere. I've never actually been through here, so I didn't actually know this was here. Yeah, so there's a little... What's this? Domus Urita. Urera. Domus Urera. I don't know. Anyway, you got a little flank route here, which I've never actually used, which actually is really, really good because I've just realised where this goes. Because normally, yeah, what the hell? I've just realised this is the thing. This is really good. I would consider using this because the payload or the bot will be down there where those checkered lines are on the road or those stripes are. This is a really good position. Holy hell. I need to, yeah, this is good. I need to go and play some games with it. What the hell? That's really good. Anyway. I'll show you guys where the bot starts. So the bot starts underneath the Colosseo. There he is. And remember, like I said, again, these maps are symmetrical. So what we see on this side will be the same on the other side as well, just with slight sort of graphical changes. So, yeah, you can come out of the spawn. You can go... I don't think you can go through this door. No. So there's just a large health pack there, which is great. And over here, you've got a couple of different options here. So I'll take you guys on the mad flank route first. So if you're playing a flanker hero or you're just mental and you want to go on the flank, maybe you're playing Mercy and you just want to flank, I don't know. So you come through into this area again, you're just like, what in the hell is going on here? Like the detail again is just massive. It's just absolutely ridiculous. There's actually a screenshot of this on the Blizzard Press website from a few years ago, I think. And this room has drastically changed since then. So they've done a hell of a lot of work. And like there's literally nothing in the room. It's just, but now there's all this stuff. I mean, like, look at that. Camilla, Magnus, Titus. They're obviously Omnic gladiators. It's so cool. It's honestly. Anyway, we're continuing on our flank. So this is the first. Well, it's not the first point actually. Oh yeah, no, it would be if they pushed it. Yeah, it's symmetrical. So it would be the first point for the other team, but not for us because ours would push the other way. Our bot. So yeah, you could keep going around here. You're on a nice little flank. You could be like up here and be like, oh yeah, a bit of high ground. See these doors? I can jump down here. I could be like, oh right, where am I now? Oh yes, I'm in the middle of the map. It's wonderful. And then there's these nice massive bits of glass cover which cannot be broken. So if the big fight is going on in here, well, if you're flanking around here, they can't actually get you, and they can't really see you that clear anyway. You can get around the side here, so you have to be aware of that. But you can just keep going. So you can either decide to go through them double doors, or you can be like, you know what? I'm not going to go through the double doors. I'm going to go around the outside, and I'm going to keep going around the outside. I'm going on the super outside flank. Oh, look, I'm at the enemy side of the map. Yes, and then you can do all kinds of stuff. Like you can be like, oh, well, I think I'll go on their high ground. Oh, is that their back line down there? I think I'll kill them. This is how Overwatch 2 plays, especially on push. It's so flanky. Just look at this. What even is that? That's mental. Yeah, anyway, so we can take another route here. We could do the longer flank, I guess, around the side. Instead of running through up to the high ground, we can go down to the low ground there. It is just crazy. And of course, down here, yes, you guessed it, there's more flanky madness. So you can run through here, and this will take you through those big green doors, which again, we can kind of see the high ground up there. What's that on the ceiling? V. Obviously a Roman numeral. Good God. So, yeah, you can come into here. Somebody's having a game of darts. Great. Are they... This Oh, this is cool. I haven't actually looked at this. Oh, these must be the upcoming fighters. Maximus versus Zephyrus. He looks like a winged hussar. That looks really good. That looks so cool. Yeah, anyway, little bar, and this takes you out into the main area. So let's just imagine we're taking a fight here, because what generally happens is everyone will rush down to this point. You might have one of your DPS rush off on a flank, but you know, your tanks and your supports, they're basically all coming down to this area. Well, your tank and your supports, I should say. So you've got a small health pack here, and if we keep going around here, you've got a little bit of cover over there, which is great. We've got another health pack around here, a small health pack, and then you can keep moving yourself sort of around this area, and this is again taking you on a massive flank. You've got a large health pack there, which again is mirrored on the other side. So if we go down here, like basically everything's mirrored, right? You know, if there's a health pack that side, there'll be one down here, so there should be one over here. Yep, so there's your large health pack. Anyway, if we're going on a flank route over here, or just going on a route, so the bot will be walking forward this direction, and the bot will go down over there, but you can keep running. You can do what you like. You could be like, I'm going down here, and you're like, where no, what is this? It's like, oh yeah, it's just a whole area of the map that's, you know, just go and have a 1v1 with the other enemy Genji or something. I don't know. It's so mental. Like, there's so many little nooks and crannies. There's so many. It's just crazy. Anyway, so you could come through here. You could be like, well, I'm going to go up to the high ground. Look at this. And if I was attacking from the side I've been showing you guys towards the enemy here, and the enemy are in there fighting, I mean, suddenly you're behind them. Yeah, there's just so many different flank routes. It's incredible. And just the way this map looks is great. Like, also, this is called the Galleria Imperiale. Imperial. Well, the Imperial Gallery. And I think this has got different stuff in it. Still got that Caesar model. No, it looks the same. That's a letdown. Oh, it's got different pictures. Different pictures in this gallery. How wonderful. But the outside of the building is definitely different. You know, it looks different. It's got different... But look at it. Like, I like the detail on these textures look great to me. I mean, look at it. It just looks so goddamn good, this map does. Hotel Fellaini. Any Man United players out there having flashbacks to a guy with crazy hair? Because I am just about now. Circuit Maximus. It's just this... And again, like, you've got this showing the same gladiators off again. It's so cool. Oh, yeah, and you've got this little bit of... I didn't even know this was here. So you've got more high ground there. So if you want to get, you know, if you're Sojourn or somebody with movement, i.e. Bastion. Because, yes, Bastion can jump. It's just crazy. Oh, my God. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed going around these maps. And like I said, it's been awesome being able to play these maps for as long as I have been. Which means that it lets me kind of... I don't know, it lets me make better content instead of just jumping in going, oh my God, what's this? Could this be this? It's like, no, this is actually, I can kind of, yeah, it just lets me make better content. It's so cool. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. I know it's been a long one. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, do let me know what other kind of stuff you'd like to see. And I'll do my best to keep making videos to keep you guys informed and all that stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.